Okay, visionary creators, when you get stuck, when you feel like you're putting your big girl pants on and you are sharing your message freely and openly, and you're sharing from your truth, you're sharing from your heart, and it just feels like there's no one listening, there's no one paying attention. You feel like every effort that you're making to reach your most desired audience ends in disappointing results and feels futile, and you feel like obscure. You feel like the most obscure person on the planet. I want to tell you that, first of all, you're not alone, even though it might seem that you are. But there's a workaround here. And, your go-to might be to say to yourself, well, fuck my life. What am I doing all this for? Who am I even talking to? It just feels like I'm spinning in circles, and you might even feel like in a very saturated, let's just say, spiritual marketplace where everybody and their mother has a group program and a special one-to-one offer, and they're doing Akashic Records, and they're doing human design, and they're doing gene keys, and then they're doing DNA activation, and all of these methodologies and frameworks and all this stuff, and you're like, maybe I should be doing something different. Maybe all the people are flocking to Akashic Records. Maybe all the people who are looking for personal development are flocking to this human design expert and taking these classes and programs. I want you to stop. I want you to pump the brakes. I want you to take a deep breath, put your hand on your heart, and say to yourself out loud, the world doesn't need another echo. The world needs my unique, singular voice, expression, message, and magic. And no one on this planet, I'm making my singing bowl vibrate behind me with my passionate prose. No one can do the work that I do like I do it. Because no one is in your frequency. No one else has ever come before or will ever come after, or anyone who exists now possesses your unique energetic signature, your frequency, your home frequency of being. You're meant to give your gifts to the world through that frequency, and nobody else can do it except you. And there's a part of you that glimmers with this truth and understands it, but how do you override these moments where you have, the logical left brain shadow wounds and the ego mind seeing a problem and trying frantically to find a solution for it? You're coming at this from the wrong energy. And, you're going to have to put your trust and your faith in me for a little bit, because I'm a mentor here to help visionary entrepreneurs and conscious creators find more of their genius, discover more of what's already here, their genius, their purpose, their passion, their light, their message, to map their big, bold visions into tangible reality. That's my sweet spot. That's my zone of genius, and I really love doing it, and I'm an incredibly passionate person when I teach about it. And so I want to tell you, stop coming at this problem or perceived problem with a logical left brain analysis of it and thinking that you need to go outside of you to source a solution. Find a marketing guru, enroll in that next guru's program. It's not any of that stuff. You are here to dream and to build a higher destiny for humanity. So instead, you need to go to that feminine, flowy, intuitive side, because it needs a little balancing, a little inner inner harmoniousness between the right brain and the left brain thinking. It's a balance. It's a harmony of both. And a way that I want to share with you over these 3 days in the Against the Grain workshop, it is for you, conscious creator, for you, visionary entrepreneur, you who has a unique message, and you have this deep why for why you do what you do that has to do with the benefit and the growth of humanity, not just for your own personal gain. It's bigger. This thing that's driving you, this thing that is speaking through you, this higher force that moves energy through you, it's bigger than you. It's a force you can't explain. It's a force that none of us can really explain. But it's driving you because your light, your voice, your message is needed. So don't forget that. And it's time for you to really magnify that and amplify it. You know, when we are dealing with deep collective and personal karma like we are right now on the planet, the tendency and the compulsion is to want to go outer and fix and wrestle things into submission outside of us. It is about going more deeply inward, and it's about exploring some archetypes that are actually going to help you and be embodied more in these archetypes. And so these archetypes specifically are the visionary, the philosopher, the mystic, the maverick, and the rebel or the wild one. And what are archetypes? Well, they are ways to embody an energetic, let's just say, avatar that possesses the highest qualities of these particular personas, let's just say. And they help you to override and shift and transmute some of these core fears that we have. And I see this a lot. I've been doing this a long time, mentoring visionary entrepreneurs and conscious creators. And I see these wounds of obscurity and futility over again. I still grapple with them myself. But what I've found really works for me is not trying to, you know, arrest or dissolve all this shadow and then the work ends there. It's about honoring that we just carry this, accepting that this is something that these are collective shadows. These are ego, mind, the small false self shadows that is always going to suffer from some sort of feeling of inadequacy, feeling of being unsafe. And that can just exist. That can just hang out. The important thing is to put your energy, your attention, and focus into embodying the higher ideals of what you're here to represent. And in this 3-day workshop against the grain, that's what I'm going to teach you how to do. That's what I'm going to share with you. That, and on the 3rd day, we're going to pull all this together. We're going to talk about the core wounds of obscurity and futility and how they are affecting you, how they're affecting your business, and what you can do to shift out of that energy. And then we're going to talk about embodying these 5 archetypes that I mentioned. And on the 3rd day, we're going to tie it all together, and I'm going to take you through a guided energy work session where we are going to learn how to proceed with uncertainty, because we are really being called up. Those of us who are here to, you know, usher in a new earth, leave the world a better place than we found it. Our mission is big. It's a huge responsibility, and that weight that we carry, it doesn't have to be a burden, because actually we are not here to do it alone. We're not here to carry this from the energy of the small false self. We're here to remember that we are a fractal of the infinite, of God consciousness. And we have, when we're embodied in that perspective, all the help and support we need. So if this speaks to you, I can't wait to see you in there. So what's really cool about this is there's only one place to get it, and it is in my Visionary Skool private membership community. This is on the Skool platform. And when you join this workshop, your investment includes a 30-day trial membership in Visionary Skool. So you have access to all the visionary teachings in there, all the practices, the meditations, and you have it for 30 days. And you can decide whether you want to stay or leave after that 30 days. Totally up to you. You could cancel anytime. But you'll be able to take away with you this workshop. You'll have replays of the workshop. It will live as replays in Visionary Skool, but even if you decide not to stay on after 30 days, you'll still have access to these replays from the Against the Grain workshop. Because believe me, when you're in those tight moments again, you're going to want to go back to this workshop and remember the things that we're talking about and discussing and covering in here, and how to go back into that embodiment of your highest ideal as a visionary creator. So I'm so excited to share this with you. This is going to be on fire, and I really, really, really am so excited. If this speaks to you, don't miss out on this opportunity. It's not a huge investment. I wanted to do that on purpose so that I could get the most people enrolled in here as possible. All the details are going to be in the description of this video. So I hope to see you in there. Against the Grain workshop, January 30th, 31st, and February 1st at 1 p.m. Pacific time. All the details down below in the description. I'll see you inside. Bye-bye.